Welcome to Echoes of Africa, where hidden stories, bold voices, and untold truths rise from the heart of the continent. Before you dive in, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because every echo here reveals the Africa they don't want you to see. Africa just flipped the script on trade and mining. China is dumping $1.4 billion into reviving the TAZARA Railway, the vintage Zambia-Tanzania line built in the 1970s. This isn't just infrastructure rehab. It's a high-stakes move in the race for Africa's mineral wealth. Copper, cobalt, and resources that fuel electric vehicles, green energy, and the future of tech. Under a 30-year concession, the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCECC, will restore the tracks, rebuild key stations, and take over operations, giving China long-term control of a critical African transport artery. Of that money, $1 billion will go into rehabilitating the 1,860-kilometer rail line, upgrading bridges, tunnels, signaling, and the entire track backbone. Another $400 million is earmarked for logistics. 32 brand-new locomotives, 762 freight wagons, all built to haul minerals more efficiently. Right now, TAZARA's usage is a shadow of its potential, but with these upgrades, freight capacity could skyrocket. This railway connects Zambia's Copperbelt, rich with copper and cobalt, directly to the port of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, a rail-to-sea lifeline for African minerals. China's investment means a faster, cheaper, and far more reliable route out of the mines. And in return, Beijing secures long-term access to the minerals fueling the green energy revolution. But it's not just about mining. This is geopolitics. With TAZARA under Chinese management, Beijing strengthens its strategic foothold in southern and East Africa. Rival routes, like the western-backed Lobito corridor, suddenly look less dominant. For Zambia, the upside is huge: reduced transport costs, higher export efficiency, and a magnet for foreign investors. But with control comes risk. A long-term concession means China holds massive sway. Will Zambia and Tanzania truly benefit, or will this just lock them into a new form of dependency? Today, their decision could reshape Africa's mineral export future. A 50-year-old railway is becoming the backbone of a new trade era, one where power, wealth, and influence flow along old tracks. The world is watching. China's $1.4 billion investment in TAZARA marks a bold rebirth of a historic railway. The China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCECC, will handle the rehabilitation and operation under a 30-year deal. The first 3 years are for rebuilding. The next 27 are for full operations. About $1 billion is dedicated to restoring the railway's infrastructure, track repairs, bridges, signaling systems, and safety enhancements. An additional $400 million will go toward new rolling stock, locomotives and wagons to dramatically increase hauling capacity. The TAZARA Railway spans 1,860 kilometers, linking Zambia's mining-connected Copperbelt to Dar es Salaam. This corridor is vital for transporting copper and cobalt, minerals essential for electric vehicles, renewable energy, and industrial technologies. By upgrading this line, China locks in a reliable export path for these resources, bypassing traditional bottlenecks. This isn't China's first time backing TAZARA. The line was built in the 1970s with Chinese support, but decades of underinvestment left much of it underused and inefficient. The revitalization project addresses those shortcomings head-on and positions the railway as a critical artery in global mineral trade. Trade experts are already hailing the project as a game-changer. The upgrade could massively lower the cost of mining logistics for Zambia, opening the door for more exports and foreign investment into its mineral sector. The investment also signals confidence in Zambia's long-term role as a key supplier of copper and cobalt. Geopolitically, this move strengthens China's position in southern Africa. Controlling TAZARA gives China leverage, not just over transport infrastructure, but over the flow of critical minerals. As China competes with Western-backed corridors, this deal gives it a powerful advantage. At the same time, Zambia and Tanzania stand to benefit significantly. For Zambia, the modern rail system could reduce road congestion, cut costs for miners, and improve export predictability. For Tanzania, the upgraded corridor strengthens its role as a trade hub and port gateway, increasing revenue from transit and port operations. But the deal also comes with serious risks. A 30-year concession gives CCECC long-term control. That raises questions about sovereignty, decision-making power, and who really profits. There are concerns about how much of the value truly stays local, whether jobs will go to local workers, and how effectively the partnership will be governed. Social and environmental impacts can't be ignored. Upgrading rail infrastructure, increasing traffic, and boosting freight volumes could affect communities, ecosystems, and land use. Local participation, fair compensation, and sustainable development must be part of this project's implementation. Critics warn that without careful oversight, the railway could be another example of resource extraction benefiting distant powers more than local people. The long-term nature of the concession means local governments will need strong negotiating power, not just for the first years, but across the entire 30-year deal. If successful, though, the revitalized TAZARA could spark a broader transformation. Zambia might use the railway's increased capacity to develop value-added industries, mineral processing, refining, even battery manufacturing. That would shift the country up the value chain, turning resource exports into full-scale industrial growth. Strategically, a modern TAZARA means Africa is no longer just a supplier of raw ore. It is part of the global infrastructure for green minerals. By combining its mining capacity with a reliable export corridor, Zambia can play a pivotal role in the global energy transition. The competition is real. As Western-backed corridors like the Lobito route evolve, China's stronger involvement through TAZARA raises the stakes. Who will control mineral exports in the decades ahead? Which corridor will dominate? What will determine the outcome is how the deal is managed. Will local governments push for shared value? Will the communities along the line be included and empowered? Will profits be reinvested into African infrastructure, not just repatriated? China's $1.4 billion bet on TAZARA is not just about rails. It's about power, minerals, and the future of global trade. If played right, it could reshape how Africa exports its most critical resources. And for Zambia and Tanzania, it could be the start of a new age of economic sovereignty and growth. You've been watching Echoes of Africa, where every story carries the sound of tomorrow. If this moved you, subscribe now, like, and share so Africa's voice never fades into silence.